Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. I don't know about you, but not really a big fan of these international breaks. Anyways, I don't think anyone really is. The Euros and everything's really good, but got a lot of really fun stuff, good stuff coming up for the weekend. So what we're going to concentrate in this video is we have the Kylian Mbappe special, which is coming up. So we'll have a wee look at that. Firstly, we're probably going to have a look at Brighton to glory. So if you've seen the previous video, picked up a Brighton collection, got it up to 5%. We're going to start in the lowest division in the English Premier League. Cash comp, not in the actual English Premier League, and then look to obviously move up. I've actually been buying some Chelsea cards as well, just my whole life just wanted to sing the song. Chelsea, 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 and that's the words of the song. Genius song. You can't beat it. Anyways, we'll have a wee chat about that, and I'll explain kind of why I've been doing it. And as always, we'll have a look at Predictor 5. I've got my Celtic lineups up there, and we can start going through and explaining them as well. Anyways, first and foremost, I think the best thing to have a look at is a sort of general preview and everything for the weekend. So people always ask me about the spreadsheet. Look at this clever spreadsheet, which will appear on the screen soon. Promise. There it is. So this is a sheet from Sorare Probabilities. So it's a paid service, but obviously I do my previews and everything from this. Your gal's cool with it. You can pull in all your own players, get projected lineups, XG, clean sheet percentages, all that type of stuff. So anyways, let's go through and we'll have a look for the weekend. So there's no huge surprises here. We've got PSV. Best fixture of the weekend in all of the regions. 3 XG, which is expected goals, in case you're new to XG stats, etc. And 53% clean sheet percentage, which is pretty higher. Got Bayern Munich against Hosen, which is 2.94 XG and 42% clean sheet percentage. So I think one thing that people will do for the Mbappe thing is they'll probably pick a really big stackable team, so like Bayern Munich stacks or that type of thing. So they're the objectively the best sort of team to pick in. What's happening with the sheet? I haven't pressed anything there. I don't know what's happening. They're one of the best teams to pick in Champion, and obviously with the Mbappe competition, you've got to pick a champion team. Got Manchester City against Brentford, so Manchester City will be really popular. You obviously Kevin De Bruyne, etc. be a really good potential pick, and remember it's common cards for the Mbappe thing as well. Haaland's been outrageous, hat tricks all over the camp, brilliant. Galatasaray against Rizespor, so 2.78 XG. Galatasaray are in Challenger. Usually in the videos I do break it down into Challenger and Contender and Champion and everything, but quite a lot to cover today, so I don't think I'm going to do that here. We'll just go through it individually. Celtic against Hearts, so 2.77 XG, 54% clean sheet percentage. So Celtic with the best contender fixture really. Celtic at home, playing really well, haven't really conceded much either. I'm going to go through and we'll do the Brighton stuff, we'll have a look at the Mbappe stuff, and we'll come back to Celtic and I'll have a look at Predictor 5, predicted lineup, and we'll maybe pick some teams in Sorare as well. Porto against Firenze, 2.75 XG, 61% clean sheet percentage. That's really high, so that's excellent. So Porto obviously have got a pretty good fixture for Challenger. Bodo Glimt don't really have any sort of licensed cards at the moment. They do have Hogga, Evgen, guys like that, Bjorkan. Pretty good fixture for them as well. And again, they're in Contender, so they're in with Celtic. Liverpool against Nottingham Forest. So again, that's pretty interesting. I wouldn't really put it off anyone playing a Liverpool stack at home or some Liverpool players. So the only funny thing just now is obviously a lot of the teams have players away, so Sal was playing with Egypt, all that sort of stuff, but Liverpool looked a bit tighter. Maybe they're not playing quite as mad a sort of style as they did under Klopp, but they've been keeping clean sheets, which were really killing me, and sorry, I must admit, having the old Liverpool collection. Sporting against Aroca, again 2.61 XG and 53% clean sheet percentage. We've got Paris Saint-Germain against Stade Brestois, the Brest guys, 2.5 XG. So again, it looks a pretty good fixture, but Brest do have some quite good players. So I don't. It might not quite turn out that easy, and I think Brest are in the Champions League as well. I'm just going to stop saying Brest now. Going to stop saying Brest. Bayern Leverkusen against Hoffenheim. Again, Leverkusen, not a high clean sheet, but that's one of the worst clean sheet percentages in there, I guess. Hoffenheim expect to score 20. Not that reliable this season. Benfica, again, the same, but the manager's changed now, so interested to see how that shapes up. Quite a high clean sheet percentage, so hopefully they start sort of pulling through with some of those as well. Nothing much else standing out there. I guess Inter Miami, a reasonable fixture. It'd be good to see Messi back soon as well. So before we go in and we pick the sort of player database, I'm going to have a look and see if we can pick the highest sort of champion guys here, right? So competition, champion classic, and this is usually set up so that it's just for my own players, but I'm going to actually deselect that. So yeah, it's already been deselected, so these are not just my own players. So you see the ones that say 100, those are ones who have pretty good fixtures, and I have also filtered it down to champions. So Brighton against Ipswich seems a pretty good one. So I think I'm going to take a risk actually and play some Brighton players. So Welbeck there, I've got João Pedro there. João Pedro's 70% of me. I understand that because he was away with Brazil, though didn't really play much. Mateta's pretty high up there. That's a really interesting one. Crystal Palace, obviously. Osula, don't know so much. Giovanni Reina is probably going to play. Bayern, an interesting one for Dortmund, so could be a real kind of outside bet. Michael Elise, estimated 100. I guess he probably should be starting soon. John Paul Van Heck up there as well for Brighton, so that's pretty good. Aspas, so I mean, like when people are picking teams, they're not going to be picking like Aspas, they're not going to be picking Brighton players, they're not going to be picking, probably not going to be picking Andy Robertson there. Project 94, that's really caught my attention. Tim Kleindienst, an 88 as well. So, it's always good to have a look at this stuff. I mean, they are only projections, and that's not the way it always sort of works out. But from that point of view, it's always quite interesting, as I said, to have a look. So let's go in. We'll pick a fun lineup for the Mbappe thing. We'll put the Brighton lineup in, and then we'll have a look at Celtic there as well for the weekend. So there he is, big Mbappe. We've had a load of promotional stuff, which is quite good. So in this competition, you can use 4 common cards. You can use 1 limited card. So I might actually pick somebody from the Brighton collection just to fire them in here. Guess sort of why not. See, we've got all listed cards here, and then we've got everyone else listed. So if you wanted, you could pick a Courtois, for example. Definitely wouldn't put you off using Courtois. You can use David Raya. So you've got a free choice of all the players in Champ, which is really fun. So let's have a proper go at this, and I'm going to actually filter it down to each position and see if we can just kind of get a gauge on what a good overall stack would be. So we've got quite a few interesting choices up here. Obviously, we want somebody who's definitely going to play as well. Jorgensen's probably not going to play. Just try to see if anybody really sort of jumps out here at the top of the list. I think that Courtois has been excellent. We've got Alisson, which is only down there on 67. Andre Onana on 74 is interesting as well. So yeah, everybody been inclined to go with Courtois, etc. But I think probably just going to go with Bart Verbruggen, to be honest. So hopefully it lets me pick Bart, because I've already got his card. So I don't really want to use his card in the Mbappe thing, right? I want to use his card in the Brighton competition. Why are you not coming up? Holy moly. Alisson definitely be a good selection as well. Can't find them. That's a pain in the backside. So anyway, I'm gonna switch strategy, and I'm gonna avoid them, and I'm gonna go for Alisson and go for a wee Liverpool defensive stack. So hopefully the search things. I think there's a problem with the search thing. It is like thrown up here after you've got the cards. Now, I guess I do want to pick somebody from Brighton, but I don't really know if I want to be using up my sort of limited cards for that. So hopefully this search thing's working for me. Toma. I suspect that because I've got these guys in limited, it's not showing me the common card. I don't know if that's the problem. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I don't know why it's happening. I think it's just another piece of Sorare Genius UI. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick like a mix, and I'm going to put in some big hitters instead. I think that this is probably the most beneficial way of doing it. I mean, obviously, if you want to go really proper sort of differential, and you want to go with like a Brighton sort of stack as an alternative, you definitely could do that. I don't know if I really want to use like my Musiala cards and stuff in here. Got the wrong Salah now. How hard is it to put a lineup in, man? For fuck's sake. I'm going to go with Andy Robertson. Hopefully he will show up. It's probably just because it's a new thing, right? So it does happen a lot. So this is showing you 11 limited cards, and then hopefully you'll have the non-limited common cards. There it is. Not first and unlimited common cards. Absolutely nobody will captain them probably, so I'm going to go with Andy Robertson. Go a Liverpool defensive stack, Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland there. But I mean, it wouldn't put you off if you do have you want to take advantage of this limited, then you might want to put in a sort of limited card from Brighton for a bit extra. To be honest, for this type of competition, it's more of an open thing. I'm not really too concerned. So there we go. That's what it is. Anyways, back to my own players. I said the spreadsheet from sort of probabilities, you can filter this down into your own sort of players. I'm going to filter it first and foremost to Premier League in season and then limited. Say I do have Chelsea guys now as well. Looks like their goalkeepers are just all the goalkeepers are playing. I think this will be a wee bit easier to pick, obviously, in terms of the Brighton to glory side of things. So it's going to be a fun thing to do, right? It's really just something I thought would be a good idea to do, and we can just follow it all the way through. So we're starting Division 5, which is a shame, obviously, but that's what it is, and that's whole part of this glory thing. I have bought this collection right up to the 5% now, which is great. I'm going to go with John Paul Van Heck. I mean, I must admit, if I had availability for Ferdi Kadioglu, I would possibly go there, but he's been injured, and I think he's quite capable of doing peak scores as well. But I think Van Heck's a lot more nailed to play here, and a high projected score as well, which is quite interesting. Nice to see him getting in amongst the squad as well for Holland. It's a real sign for him. Matt O'Reilly obviously is injured just now, but I will be opening him up as one of the Brighton cards. Matoma, interesting one. I mean, he's only at 70% because he's been playing for Japan, but in terms of peak scores, I just think I want him in there. And it is a Brighton selection, so we're just going to go full Brighton here. Danny Welbeck, 100 screaming out at me. Initially, I was going to put in Minty, but I think I'm going to go with Welbeck, just because, well, the sheet says so, and yeah, I think I'm pretty confident that João Pedro is going to play as well. He didn't really play much for Brazil, and I just think that Ipswich is such a good fixture as well that I think that this just kind of screams out pretty strong team. So I'm going to go with Matoma captain as well. Just such a fun player to watch. Other options, potentially cheaper ones. Pervis Estepinian is probably a good one who can put in some high scores in attacking games. So I've went for a centre back, but you could go for a full back. Ferdi Kadioglu, if you want to take a huge risk on him playing, it's kind of interesting there. as well. So that's us got the Brighton team in. So we've done the Mbappe team, done the Brighton team. The Mbappe team didn't quite turn out the way I was expecting it to turn out, but yeah, I may well go back and slot in a limited there just to max it out. But see, boys, it's a bit of fun. Even if you get over the 400, you get into a raffle. I know there's some other cool prizes or whatever been given out, but you've got to beat 45,000 people as well, which is never properly going to be easy. Anyways, let's have a look now at Celtic. So we'll just go Contender Classic actually, and we'll probably have most of the Celtic stuff up here. So Kasper Schmeichel's been insane. Don't think he's conceded a goal in the last 6 games, in terms of SO5. So 2 games for Denmark, 4 games for Celtic. Estimated 75, so you can't really go far wrong with that. Austin Trusty, projected 100. I'm not sure where he'll play. We'll come back to a wee minute. Scales, 74. We've got Greg Taylor on 72. Carter Vickers on 69. Alice Johnson on 66. Again, I'll come back to him. Luke McCowan, a lot of his last 15 came from Dundee, where he's more of a main man, but I think 30% is generous, to be honest. Again, we'll come back to that. Callum McGregor with an estimated 70. Quite interesting as well. And remember, we do have, obviously, Arne Engels now, who's had a lower average for Augsburg, and he's now in the Celtic team. And we've got Furuhashi in 71. Rio Hatate in as 62 as a forward card, and Nicholas Kuhn in as 54, which I think underestimates him. So, anyways, I do all the Celtic lineups on Predictor Fi, and we've got a new sort of feature here where you can connect your account and it shows you all the players who are available for that team. There's no point in me doing that for Celtic because it will just basically highlight all players because I'm mad. I've got everybody. We should have actually had a look at the Brighton projected lineup, so let's make sure we've not made any mistakes here. Welbeck 90%, João Pedro 70, Duncan Van Hecke pretty solid. Yeah, Veltman, this opinion, we don't know left back, and Matoma or Dingra. I think with Matoma as well, it's quite possible that you could just come on and run riot from there. So yeah, if you do this new feature, you connect your account, when you go into the lineups, it'll highlight the players that you own yourself. I'm only doing my Celtic predictions on here as well. If you do want to sign up for Predictify, if you use the code McBrideAce, then that would be greatly appreciated. So anyways, on to the weekend. I put some notes in here as well. Kasper Schmeichel, 95%. We discussed him there. Projection of around about 75, which is not a surprise in the slightest. Hearts are usually pretty good. I mean, the first game of the season they played really well against Rangers, got a draw, but they've been really awful since, so quite fancy Celtic to take a few goals off them. Greg Taylor, 95%. Valley has been brought in from Barcelona. He can play on the left as well, but I'll come back to him just in a wee minute. Liam Scales, 75%, so we're getting into dodgy territory here. When you're using guys like this, and I'm putting them at 75%, use them at your own risk. Don't be coming on Twitter saying, oh, he said he would play. To be fair, everybody's been pretty cool with things like that. But yeah, Celtic paid $6 million for Austin Trusty. I think at some point he's going to give Scales a run for his money in that side of things selection. Carter Vickers at 65%. There's a specific reason for that. It's not because I'm worried about Carter Vickers getting dropped. If he's fit, Carter Vickers I think will play. But in the last game, he got a kick to the ankle. He finished the game. He walked out and he was in a protective boot when he was walking out of the stadium. Now, that was probably just to protect his ankle. It was 2 weeks ago. But there is a small risk that he might not play. I think he will play, but that's why I put him at 65%. Alex Valley at right back, so that's going to be a bit of a surprise to people. Alistair Johnson left the Canada camp with hamstring discomfort, so there was 2 friendlies. In the first friendly, he got taken off after 20 minutes. Manager said it was more precautionary, felt tightness in his hamstring to come off. They then sent him home. They never put him back in squad for the next game. I think he's a big risk for this weekend, unless there's news coming out to say that he's all good, in which case I'll probably change this. If I think he's going to be fit, then he's going to be a favourite over Valley. But Valley can play left or right back. He played right back for Barcelona in pre-season. I think he's going to be ahead of Ralston in the pecking order. Tough decision, but I'm favouring Valley at the moment. I've got to put my neck on the line, got to pick somebody. If we see Johnson's fit, Roger says he's okay, then Johnson may well play 60, 70 minutes, and then have his minutes managed ahead of the Champions League game next Wednesday against Bratislava. Cal McGregor, 95%, retired from Scotland, had 2 weeks rest. Can't see how he doesn't play, no injury news. Arne Engels, really harsh on Bernardo. I mean, Bernardo was arguably man of the match against Rangers, but Engels came in 11 million. He's in the full Belgian squad. So Paulo Bernardo was playing for Portugal under 21s. Engels was in the full Belgium squad, playing with Kevin De Bruyne, etc. So I think he'll get introduced at some point. I'm maybe being a wee bit generous there. If I was being ultra cautious, I think that maybe Bernardo might start and Engels might still come off the bench. But I don't know. You just don't spend 11 million on somebody to sit them on the bench. Like Celtic's record transfer, and those are the reasons. Reasons are the reasoning behind 60%. Rio Hatate, 80%. Again, just as a slight risk. Hatate's been away with Japan. He's not played, but he's been away travelling. So you could see maybe McGregor, Engels and Bernardo could be a wee bit of a change. But I think Celtic have been playing so well that most likely scenario is McGregor, Hatate and Engels, or McGregor, Hatate and Bernardo. Daisen Maeda only played like 20-30 minutes for Japan. Came on and scored first game, never played second game, so I think he'll play. Kyogo Furuhashi, again, really sharp at home. Ida was a big name signing, but Ida's more a guy who plays away from home. I think Furuhashi will start at home. Ida will come on to manage his minutes ahead of Wednesday. And Nicholas Kuhn, again, he's not been playing for international break. He's been really good this season. I think he's a favourite to start, but you can't rule out rotation. So I put these guys down at 85%, etc. Because just remember that there are Champions League games coming up. Celtic play on Wednesday, and then the weekend they play against Falkirk at home in the Cup. I think the major rotation will be against Falkirk. So a couple of wee notes in here. First thing is, I won't be around on Friday. I've got a sort of charity golf day on Friday, which will be great fun, but I might not be around pre-deadline. So, keep an eye out, please, on socials for any sort of late injury news. If I do see anything, I hear anything, or if any of the other guys, our predictors, see anything, they will come in and try and save the day. But I'll have this lineup updated probably tomorrow night as much as I can. Put the information in there. CCV left the last game in a boot. Johnson left the Canada camp. We should get maybe some game time for Alex Valley and Arne Engels as well. So that leads us on to doing some selections. Probably going to do my priority Celtic lineup. We've been on here for 20 minutes already. There's so much going on just now. I mean, I know it's like obviously people often sort of mention regarding Sorare, etc. I get all of that. I'm going to move myself back down here. Apologies for moving about on the screen, but just because I'm in place of this discover new competitions button here, so got to get in amongst this. So contender ready. We do have a D1, 2 D1s and also a D2 for limited, which is pretty fun as well, which is good. So Kasper Schmeichel, obvious one, using the big 14% one there as well. Defence a real difficult one. Obviously CCV with the injury, Scales, will he play or not? Valley's just in. So I think I'm going to have to go a bit safe and go for Greg Taylor. I mean, he's obviously putting in lots of really good scores. You see a really good score against Rangers. My preference usually is to pick like more of a sort of centre back, but there we go. Again, midfield wise, Cal McGregor has been excellent, really on it. Rio Hatate in there. Really want to play Engels, but I think probably play him in a under 23 type lineup. So I think I'm going to have to go with Cal McGregor. Up front wise, I do think Nicholas Kuhn should play. I don't think there's any real huge risk there. So really unlucky not to link up with Furuhashi in the last game. The only problem with Furuhashi is he doesn't really do much of an AA type performance. So, preference usually for a lineup at home, you maybe want to go for 2 defenders and really max out the AA. So it's a difficult one. I don't really know. I mean, obviously I would like to put Alistair Johnson in there if I knew he was fit. I just think he's quite a risk. So I think my first lineup, I'm just going to go with the old attacking type lineup here. Go with Nicholas Kuhn as captain. He's been scoring pretty well. I do think from set pieces point of view, Engels will probably get the set pieces, but it's a wee bit early to be banking on him in a main lineup. So we'll fire that lineup in. We'll stick on the theme of the limited ones as well. I think we'll probably have another look and fire in another limited team to champ. So now we've got all these different sort of options with Chelsea, or loads of options with Chelsea because they're just completely mental. So I've got one D5 in Premier League, and I think I probably want to go with the Champ D2 entry, just because obviously better prize. If you look at the available amounts here, D2 Champ is $700 for first, so probably just want to take my chance at that. I've got M.A. Martinez, etc. to use here as well, so we'll jump back to Champ, and then we'll probably call it a day at some point soon, because that's quite a big preview to do. And I've not done a lot of lineups, but there we go. So defence-wise, champion, this is going to be more of a mixed-up team. So I'm going to go with Emiliano Martinez against Everton. I think there's actually a problem with some of the last 15 stick here. So you'll see he's on a 0. I don't know why that is. That's probably what's buggering up this sort of spreadsheet as well, to be honest. But hey ho. So in terms of defence, Levi Colwill was really quite impressive for England. So an interesting one. Pedro Porro I've got as an option as well. I want to see who else is really standing out in the sheet. I mean, I think with having a home game against Ipswich might be a good idea to play like Lewis Dunk. So 52 is not really that high a projected score. It's interesting. Veltman's a wee bit higher. It was only 50% start. Ferdi Kadioglu in there as well. I think I'm going to go with Dunk, just based on the fixture. Midfield wise, who I've got available, so I could play Michael Elise in here. That's quite interesting. Usually reserve him for the under 23s. Quite like Sporsley at home against Nottingham Forest, been playing more in number 10 role, so I think that's quite a good selection with it being at Anfield. Elise might come in for the last spot here, because this is a reasonably high entry obviously we're putting in. Yakuba Minty I like. I mean, I watched him in that game against Arsenal and I thought he was really good, to be honest. I guess the last place here, do we use Cole Palmer in here? Do we use him in under 23s? Madueke has been really good as well, pretty explosive. I like Visa and I like Mbuemo, but obviously Man City away is, not really the fixtures to be using them for. And Kunku I'm going to be using in the European stuff when that comes up. Bayer's interesting, looks like a pretty good home fixture there as well. I don't think there's anyone else really jumping out in terms of options. So yeah, I guess it comes down to what I'm going to be doing for the other competitions, but probably just fire Cole Palmer in here. It's champion, so quite a big entry. Bournemouth, I guess, have been a wee bit leaky this season. Chelsea scoring a lot of goals away from home. And I've managed to get his XP up as well because we've upgraded the collection, so I'm up to 11.5%, which is really good. I've got so many other lineups to do, but I'm going to end it there because I just think that obviously it'd be good to focus on the real headlines of this week. The Mbappe stuff's been really good. Obviously, we've got a referral sort of bonus and everything now. You get your €60 bonus, you get your raffle ticket to meet Mbappe and things. So I like all that stuff. It's nice to see the site doing some marketing obviously in Paris with all the stuff in L'Equipe and all the stuff is on the subways and everything. That's all great fun. As said, I've picked up a lot of the Chelsea collection so far. Again, picked up a wee bit of money at the weekend. The reasoning behind the Chelsea collection is Conference League, loads of EPL games obviously. They've been playing some of the sort of rotational pieces in the Conference League, so that's quite good from a utility point of view. Club World Cup, they bought a lot of good young players, so it kind of fits the strategy under 23 and everything as well. So it's not I love Chelsea or anything, it's just, they've spent a lot of money in really good young players. I think that's a real fun way to go forward. Said earlier, if you're interested in the lineup predictions, etc., and the updates, then please have a look at predictorfi.com. And I'll be on with Quinny 3001 tomorrow night. We're going to rip open the card reviews. So I'm going to go on with Quinny and open all the Celtic stuff, Real Madrid cards and everything as well. I've not picked a Real Madrid lineup on here because I'm pretty shit at it at the moment. So, and also as they're saying that Carvajal might be rested for the Champions League. So I don't know what I'm going to do for a Real Madrid defender because Militao and Rudiger have went absolutely mental. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. Do appreciate it. As always, the numbers on the channel have been really good. If you've enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated as well. And so we're on Quinny's channel tomorrow night, and then we'll be back next week. So thanks again. If you're playing this weekend, we'll end in customary fashion. Got to do the killing Mbappe celebration. Good luck and go fuck.